Oh my gosh, I'm back in business. So, for those of you who don't know, I've been having technical difficulties with my computer. I've been going live on YouTube, and I've been talking about business planning. So I still wanted to fulfill. I was like, I'm still going to fulfill my 30-day challenge. And so I was going live on YouTube, and I'm probably going to take those videos down, those YouTube videos. So if you haven't seen them, you can head over to I think it's on the Nurses with Voices. Look, I don't even know where I was. I think it's on the Nurses with Voices podcast YouTube channel. Um, I was just going live, and I was giving like a overview of business planning. So the idea was, because we're talking about burnout to wealth building over the 30 days, and a business plan is a strong component of your wealth building, right, in your business. And the idea was to kind of build you up to the Health and Wealth Expo, where we're going to be talking about business plans, and we're going to have a business plan workshop. And so I put them up there. So I did some videos on business plans, but I'm like, I don't know if anybody's actually seeing them. And I felt bad with everything going on, with the 30-day challenge. It's like I said, but I still would call myself fulfilling the 30-day challenge. However, what I'm thinking I will do is do a master class on business plans. That way, when you get to the Health and Wealth Expo, you're ready and you're prepared, because we're actually going to have an expert, a business plan expert, who's going to be coming and talking about business plans from the WCEC Center, right? So from the basically Women's Business Center. And I'm saying it wrong, but it's the Laeta Center. But anyway, we're going to have a business plan expert who's going to go over. And so with business plans, most of the speakers are going to be talking for about 45 minutes, right? And with a business plan, you need a little more time than that. So I was trying to give you like a pre-workshop before the workshop. But what I think I might do is do like a masterclass. So if anyone's interested in that, send me a DM. Or even in the community, let me know if you're interested in that. And why business plans are important is because not often enough, I think a lot of times we start businesses and we don't have a plan, right? We start a business because we want to escape burnout, right? We start a business because we want to make six figures, or we want to do XYZ, but we get off course. And without that business plan, you can easily get off course in what your original mission was. So we want to avoid that. And when you're able to go back to your business plan, you're able to stay on track with what your mission and your vision is for your business, what it was originally intended. So if you start, you know, an IV hydration business, and then all of a sudden you start, you want to start selling cars. I'm just saying, your business plan keeps you focused. Like, is that going to keep me in line with what I need to do? No, absolutely not. So it's important to have a business plan. But tonight, I wanted, as we're approaching the end of our 30-day challenge, I think we're at like day 29. Tonight, I want to talk about the myths in entrepreneurship, because I think some of the biggest misconceptions when I think I just lost my health and wealth team. Oh, now we're back. Okay. Is that you need a formal business degree to be successful. While traditional education has its value, there are countless thriving entrepreneurs who, especially in healthcare, is that okay over there? Who, especially in healthcare, that are living proof that we're good over here. Sorry about that. I'm sorry that your purpose and your perseverance is really often what matters, rather than a diploma, right? So, just wanted to talk about three myths. So, myth number one is that you need an MBA, right? An MBA to run a successful business. Now, I know there have been programs that are, and I'm in speaking of healthcare, there are like MSN MBA programs. And listen, no and this is nothing against those in MSN MBA programs. I myself started to do one back when I was going to graduate school. When I was going back for my master's, I started to do a dual business and nursing program. And I was asking myself, like, well, why? And at the time, honestly, I didn't really have an intention on being a business owner. So I started asking myself, well, why do I need an MBA? And that was why I didn't go through it. And I think at the time, I think the program would have been something like 3 years or something like that, 2.5 to 3 years. And I didn't want to be in graduate school that long. So here I am, right? But I say that to say that many nurse entrepreneurs, wellness practitioners, healthcare professionals, they have launched profitable businesses using their real world experience, right? And their real world experience, their grit, right? And they're strong. Why? And what they lacked in formal business training, they made up for with creativity and with strategic mentorship and practical learning, right? So you have to consider what you're trying to do, right? Everything is not about another degree. Everything is not about having an additional certification. But listen, that's how we've been programmed. And sometimes there's some myths behind that, and there's some there's some debunking that needs to take place so that we can really start to move the needle. Another myth that I want to share is only people with business backgrounds really understand marketing and branding and sales, which is completely untrue. And a great example is Felicia Shankin, who is our marketing speaker for the Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit. She has a healthcare background, right? She went to school for nursing. She worked in radiology, I think, for something like 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. And now Felicia she is a beast. I mean, she works international. She speaks, internationally. She has her PWNC community foundation, and she's doing amazing things. So I say this to say, you do not need to have that MBA or only people with business backgrounds. She has a healthcare background. Right. So again, not true. Like, these are just these myths that are not true. And we have to be able to debunk the myths. And I think two essential skills that nurses already have are their natural problem solvers and their relationship builders. Right. So again, these are two essential skills that makes us natural entrepreneurs. And that's why we do so well in business. And with the right guidance and tools, you could really master marketing and finance, right? So, and customer experience without ever stepping into a business school. So, and that really brings me to myth 3. And then the third myth is that you need to have it all figured out, right, before you start, which is completely untrue. Something that you have to be, as sometimes, especially with us like type A nurses, sometimes is a challenge for us moving over into entrepreneurship, because we like to have everything in order. And the thing with entrepreneurship, you have to be ready for the what's the word I'm looking for the unknown. Because oftentimes you have to be very flexible, and you will drive yourself crazy feeling like you have to have it all figured out. Well, I can't start my business. And a lot of people get stuck there. They can't start their business because they feel like they need everything just spelled out from them from A to Z, and you don't. Because some of it is going to be, a lot of times you're going to build the plane as you fly it, right? And just like with our nurse shift change movement, like, we're building the plane as we fly it, right? And that's okay, because we're getting volunteers, where, things are starting shaping up for May 24th. But I say all this to say it's the same thing with entrepreneurship. A lot of times you're going to be building the plane as you fly it. So if you wait to until you have it all figured out, you're never going to get started. I didn't have it all figured out. when I first started. But as you as you launch and as you start to scale and as your business starts to grow, more opportunities are going to come your way. And then there's going to be challenges, and you just have to be able to, flex, right? You have to be able to be flexible, and that's how you're going to be able to get through it. And if you feel like you need a degree, you don't. There's many entrepreneurs who are not, they don't have. Look at the people who don't have degrees, right? But they have businesses, right? It's like, think about it. So these are the type of topics that we are going to be talking about not just this, we're going to be talking about entrepreneur topics, I should say, at the Health and Wealth Expo. And I invite you to join us. I invite you to join us for a 2-day exclusive opportunity that really can change your life. It can really change the way you think. It can really change the way you do your day-to-day, the way your career is going right now. You can log on to healthandwealthexpolive.com. We will be debunking myths at the expo. When you see the lineup of speakers, when you see who's in the room, you're going to realize that you need to be in the room as well. And as we come to an end of our 30-day challenge, you're going to be seeing, I'm going to be going live with the speakers. So you get to, and if you have a question in the chat or, wherever you're watching from, make sure you put those questions in the chat. Or if you want to send me a question beforehand so that I can ask the speaker, you go right ahead. It is good to be back. I know there's still some cloudiness on the computer, but we're going to get all of that fixed. That way we can watch the way we've been watching. I thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me. I really, really, really want to see you on May 15th and 16th. Join us in Mount Laurel, New Jersey for the Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit. Trust me, you will not regret it. So I will definitely see you guys tomorrow for day 30 of our 30-day challenge. I might do a few extra nights or a few extra days, only because I feel super bad for the computer issues. But like I said, if you head over to the YouTube channel, you'll see where I was talking about the business planning. But those, like I said, those videos are going to come down, and I'll let you guys know, or you let me know if you want. I won't put it together if no one wants it. So I got a lot going on. So if you want a business plan workshop, I'm happy to do one in preparation for the Health and Wealth Expo Live Summit, where there is going to be a business plan development workshop taking place. So until next time, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.